Now, we've got a bit of your senses up around languages, around geography. Let's look at some key turning points, historical turning points in this. Now, you mentioned something there, Berlin. Where Berlin is in Germany. Okay. And this conference decided, this conference was in the late 19th century. So you know this. I'm just sometimes going to say the late 19th century, the early, the third quarter, because although I'm trained as an historian, my dates sometimes are, because we don't get so specific about the exact dates and so on. But anyway, it's last third of the 19th century. This is what happened here. It was happened in the winter. In the winter, and is it 1885, 1875? We'll get there. The continent took the shape that it took. It would look like that. And in fact, one of the moving forces behind this was the king, the Belgian king, and called this because the companies, the private companies, which the British and the French and especially the Belgian government had allowed to operate, and then the armies that came to support the companies, they were threatening war, because is this mine, is this yours, does this belong to France, does this belong to Britain? And they said, let's solve this once and for all and look at how we're going to deal with this territory. And that is when they decided what this continent would look like. So this map of Africa, which we're still sitting with very largely, apart from the map, recent changes such as Southern Sudan, was decided in the winter of in a German city. And they made these straight lines, which of course don't exist in geography. So in the Sahara, that's meaningless. In the Sahara, if you look at the borders between Mali and Niger and Libya, that small territory there is the size of France, northeastern Mali. You can't imagine these spaces, okay? You can fit that whole, the United States, you can fit there. And there's a lot of space just over that territory. You can fit that whole. In fact, this country, the Sudan, before it was divided, was the size of the United States until about there. So these spaces are very largely uncontrolled. So many of the problems you see in Mali and Libya and arms moving about, it's quite easy across these territories. So these lines mean nothing. These lines, mean nothing. But they can mean something, because if we find uranium or oil, and then we'll go there and send the army there and so on, which is what has been happening because of resources. So that's why I don't ignore land and geography and what happens underneath the land. It's either water or oil or uranium or gold or something like that. So get up with your geography. So